First here, the FBI search of former President Trump's Florida home. ABC News learning that authorities must now track the chain of custody of those top secret documents seized to see if any of the material was compromised.
Our Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington with the very latest on the fallout. Good morning, Pierre.
Robin, good morning. We're truly in uncharted waters, and Friday's release of details about what the FBI discovered during that unprecedented search at Mar-a-Lago is stunning. Documents and secrets so sensitive that the nation's security was potentially put at grave risk.
This morning, new concerns over the potentially extraordinary risks to national security posed by the discovery of classified information allegedly seized from former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. ABC News learning that top law enforcement officials must now try to track the chain of custody of those national secrets in an urgent effort to find out if any of the material allegedly taken from the White House was compromised.
How long were they kept at Mar-a-Lago? How many people potentially had access to them while they were kept at Mar-a-Lago?
The investigation will likely include interviewing former Trump administration officials and may even involve checking for fingerprints on the recovered classified documents to better understand who might have had access to them. The Justice Department warrant unsealed Friday raises a prospect of espionage charges and obstruction of justice, revealing 11 sets of recovered documents ranging from confidential to secret, top secret, and even top secret SCI, meaning that it came from intelligence sources and could involve nuclear secrets and information about terrorism operations. SCI material often involves intelligence from allies, spying, electronic eavesdropping, or informants. It's supposed to be viewed only in the most secure designated locations and by officials with the highest security clearances. Federal security protocols flatly state the compromise of top secret material creates the potential for exceptionally grave damage to national security. Among the critical questions federal investigators are expected to address, exactly how was it that so many boxes of highly classified material could be removed from the White House in the first place? Who moved it? How was it transported to Mar-a-Lago? What were the security protocols there, if any? The breadth and sensitivity of the material causing political shock waves in Washington.
One side is going to say that this is just politically motivated and weaponization of the Justice Department, but it's also very serious charges about very serious crimes.
The Justice Department had been negotiating for these documents for weeks, eventually subpoenaing them. ABC News also learning that in June, a Trump attorney signed a statement telling federal prosecutors all classified documents at Mar-a-Lago had been turned over after the FBI visited that month. And ABC News confirming that in June, security camera footage from Mar-a-Lago was subpoenaed and turned over by Trump. It's unclear how long that footage covers and what it shows.
Many security officials are expressing utter shock at this situation, and they remind that these types of national security secrets are exactly the kind of information that our adversaries run spy operations to steal. Robin?
All right, Pierre, thank you so much. And for more, let's bring in ABC News Chief Legal Analyst Dan Abrams. And Dan, there's so much to unpack here. What's the most significant thing we have learned now about the search?
I think there are two things. Number one is how sensitive the documents were. That is relevant, no matter how you look at this situation, and Pierre's reporting certainly brings that to life. But the second thing is that these documents were subpoenaed. And the reason that that's important is it goes to intentionality. It goes to whether this was done on purpose. Now, we don't know the answers to those questions, but if these documents were subpoenaed and they weren't turned over, the question becomes why? Why were they refusing? Why were they hiding? Why were they forgetting? Whatever the reason is, as a legal matter, that does become very significant.
And Dan, as you know, Trump's team has claimed he declassified the documents that the FBI seized last week. So what do you make of that?
So there are two issues there. Number one is how you go about declassifying if you're the President of the United States. And this is certainly a very unusual way, at the very least, to claim declassification. But even for the sake of argument, let's assume that the documents were declassified by the president while he was president. That doesn't necessarily resolve all the legal questions, because there's an argument to be made that all three of the statutes that are being investigated here don't require that the documents be actually termed classified. Now, again, I think it's important with regard to whether you did it on purpose, though, whether the documents were classified.
The three statutes that you just alluded to include the Espionage Act and one involving obstruction. So which one is the most concerning for the former president?
Yeah, I mean, espionage, of course, sounds the worst because it's got the word espionage in it, but as a legal matter, it's the obstruction of justice one where you could face up to 20 years if that ever comes into play.
We'll see what happens. Okay, there, Dan. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.